Thank you for staying with us here on Republic TV. Joining me live right now is Shivangi, my colleague, with the 50 biggest headlines of the day. Shivangi, over to you.
Right, Niranjan, let's get started with Superfast 50, where we'll get you the top stories from across the world, India and sports as well. It's a mega Republic TV exclusive. Amnesty International has been exposed in ED files. In the charge sheet, it's clear that the NGO was granted permission under the FCRA for receiving foreign contributions, but the same was cancelled on the basis of adverse inputs received by security agencies. Thereafter, the NGO came up with a new method to receive money from abroad in the guise of export of services and foreign direct investment. Amnesty International India rubbished all the allegations of money laundering as patently untrue and said that the curbing its critics under repressive laws has become routine for the Indian government. Amid defections, Bars Congress blamed Bharatiya Janata Party for the crisis in their Goa unit. Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge said that the Saffron Party is taking more MLAs as they're short of legislatures for the presidential polls.
एजेंडा के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं ऐसा उन्होंने कहकर एक बहाना हो तो उसने वहाँ पर हमसे नाता तोड़ के गया और सरकार गिरी। ये सब साजिश जो है बीजेपी की है, मोदी सरकार की है।
The Grand Old Party State President Amit Patkar has confirmed that he had moved applications for the disqualification of MLAs Michael Lobo and Digambar Kamat from the party.
जो हमारा कल सीएलपी का जो मीटिंग हुआ उसका जो रेजोल्यूशन निकला दैट टू चेंज द सीएलपी लीडर सो अभी आई हैव सबमिटेड द लेटर टू द ऑनरेबल स्पीकर to remove our earlier CLP leader, and our new CLP leader will be finalized by today and we will submit the same.
BJP leader and former Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi took a jibe at Congress for not being able to manage internal affairs of the party and then blaming others for it.
ये कमल के प्रभाव को धक्का देते देते खुद ये लोग धराशायी हो रहे हैं। अब आप कमल के प्रभाव को धक्का देते देते अगर खुद धाराशायी हो रहे हैं तो उसका इलाज तो हम लोग नहीं कर सकते। घर आपका अपने से नहीं समझ रहा है और दूसरों पे आरोप लगा रहे हैं, मोहल्ले में शोर मचा रहे हैं, बचाओ बचाओ बचाओ, ये होता नहीं है ना।
UN report of projects India to surpass China, being the most populous country by 2023. India, which will surpass China as the world's most populous nation by 2023, to have a population of 1.668 billion in 2050, way ahead of China's 1.317 billion people by the middle of the century. On the occasion of World Population Day, Swami Chakrapani, National President, Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha and Sant Mahasabha batted for the introduction of population bill.
से भारत के जनसंख्या बेतहाशा बढ़ रहा है। ये बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है क्योंकि भारत में एक सीमित संसाधन है और लेकिन जनसंख्या बिना रोक के बढ़े जा रही है। अभी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सर्वेक्षण जो आया है उसके अनुसार मात्र कुछ प्रतिशत चाइना से कम है।
Congress leader Udit Raj made a questionable statement alleging that the new UN report about population is false and this is all ruling party BJP's propaganda.
Now giving incentives to have a children. There, what happened? They are now facing decline of the population, and India will also face declining problem after 15-20 years. This is not alarming. This is all propaganda of BJP and RSS that, of course, there is explosion of the population, but it's not there.
PM Modi unveiled a new 6.5-meter-long bronze national emblem cast on the roof of the new Parliament building today morning. PM Modi also interacted with the workers involved in the work of the new Parliament. Amid the controversy with the KAALI poster, Delhi's 30 Hazari court has issued summons to filmmaker Leena Manimekhalai. The plea, which was filed by lawyer Raj Grover, stated that the Manimekhalai has depicted goddess Kali in a very uncalled for way in a poster and a promo video of the upcoming movie KAALI. Following Madras High Court's verdict to reject AIADMK leader OPS, PLEA and EPS officially took over as AIADMK's interim General Secretary in the General Council meeting in Tamil Nadu. Minutes after EPS took over as AIADMK's interim General Secretary post, EPS said he was expelling OPS and another senior leader, KP Munuswamy, from the primary membership of the party. Following EPS's official takeover as AIADMK's interim General Secretary in the General Council meeting in Tamil Nadu, EPS in an address said that he is loyal to only one party, and that is AIADMK. He further said that OPS has not understood the sentiments of the party. The Madras High Court on Monday rejected a plea from AIADMK leader and former coordinator OPS to stay the conduct of the General Council meeting at the party at a marriage hall, making way for rival leader EPS's elevation as a possible single leader of the party. The verdict allowed the EPS faction to hold the GC meet. The top court awarded 4-month sentence to fugitive businessman Vijay Mallya in a contempt case, observing that it must impose adequate punishment upon the contumer in order to maintain the majesty of law. The bench also imposed a fine of 2,000 rupees on Mallya. The Supreme Court asked the newly elected Maharashtra Assembly Speaker not to proceed with the plea seeking disqualification of MLAs of Shiv Sena faction led by former CM UDDHAV Thackeray. The Supreme Court in its judgment said that the centre will honour the assurance and commitment given by Portugal government for not granting imprisonment to gangster Abu Salem for more than 25 years. The Supreme Court order would be said that Salem can now only be released from jail after 2030. A special CBI court has rejected former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh's plea seeking default bail in a corruption case registered against him by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Contradicting the UN's population report, AIMIM Supremo Asaduddin Owaisi on Monday claimed that there is no population explosion in India, stating that the Sanghis are spreading fake news. A Sessions Court in UP has sent Alt News co-founder Mohammed Zubair to 14-day judicial custody. He was presented through video conferencing before the court via video conferencing from the Sitapur jail. Alt News co-founder Zubair filed a bail application in Sessions Court. The Patiala House will now hear the bail application of Alt News co-founder Zubair. Zubair has been arrested by Delhi police in 2018 in connection with an alleged post over social media. In another setback for former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, sources said that only 10 out of the 18 parliamentarians attended the urgent meeting summoned by him to discuss the presidential election. Shiv Sena MLA Bharat Gogavale car met with an accident in Mumbai. Republic TV has learned that the accident took place between Ghatkopar and Mantralaya freeway and no injuries have been reported. Maharashtra CM Eknath Shinde, Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis visited Gadchiroli district to take stock of the flood situation owing to heavy rainfall in the state. Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi will have to appear before the ED before July 21st in the National Herald case. STF Haryana has arrested 5 members associated with the Kala Jatedi and Lawrence Bishnoi. Now, STF SP Sumit Kumar said that 5 associates were handling finances, narcotics and liquor smuggling business. The Nationalist Congress Party has decided to give 27% seats to candidates from the other backward classes in the upcoming local body polls in Maharashtra. Elections to 92 Nagar Parishads and 4 Nagar Panchayats in Maharashtra will be held on August 18th. The Indian Met Department has predicted heavy to extremely heavy rain till July 12th across Maharashtra. The death toll since the onset of monsoon in the state has risen to 76, including 9 deaths in the past 24 hours. The deaths have been attributed to natural calamities such as lightning strike, floods, and structure collapse. The Ministry of Earth Sciences, Jitendra Singh from there, has announced that 1 or 2 Indian origin astronauts will go to space. Jitendra Singh further said that at least 2 trials will be conducted by the end of this year. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh met opposition MPs to discuss the Agnipath scheme for recruitment of cadres to the Indian Armed Forces. Since being announced by the centre, the Agnipath recruitment scheme faced massive protest from opposition parties. The Indian Met Department predicted moderate rainfall in the city and its suburbs over the next 24 hours, with the possibility of heavy showers at isolated places. Valsad reeled under flood-like situation as many parts of the district inundated amid heavy rainfall on July 11th. Amid the floods-like situation, around 700 people were evacuated and taken to safe spots as the rescue operations continue. After remaining suspended for days due to a flash flood triggered by a cloudburst near the cave shrine, the AMARNATH YATRA was resumed by the authorities today. The Indian Navy informed that the 4th phase of sea trials for the indigenous aircraft carrier has been successfully completed. During the exercise, integrated trials of major equipments and systems on board, including key aviation supplies, were undertaken with further enhancements in performance. Security forces killed 2 terrorists, including a top JEM commander in the Vandakpora area of Avintapora in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the Kashmir Zone Police informed that they recovered incriminating materials, arms and ammunition from there. As sudden hikes in fuel price continues to remain a matter of concern for people, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has urged states to focus on measures that would ease the issue of fuel prices among people. The race to replace Boris Johnson as Conservative Party leader and the next British Prime Minister widened further on Monday as Foreign Secretary Liz Truss became another high-profile contestant entering the fray to go head-to-head with British Indian former Minister Rishi Sunak. The spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs of India stated that today that India stands with the people of Sri Lanka as they seek to realize their aspirations for progress through democratic means, values and established institutions and constitutional framework. Sri Lanka was in a political vacuum for a second day, with opposition leaders yet to agree on who should replace its roundly rejected leaders. The angry protesters remain in President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's residence, his seaside office and the Prime Minister's official home, which they stormed on 2 days back, demanding the 2 leaders step down. Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Prasanna Ranatunga, announced that the new president of Sri Lanka will be elected on July 20th. The minister said that the party leaders had decided to elect a new president if President Rajapaksa resigned on July 13th. SpaceX launched a latest batch of Starlink satellites from the Vandenberg Space Force base in California. The Falcon 9 rocket launched 46 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. People laid flowers and paid respects to former Japanese PM Shinzo Abe outside his political party's headquarters in Tokyo on Monday. Abe was assassinated after he was shot during a campaign speech in the western city of Nara and died of massive blood loss. Amid continuous attacks on Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, personnel of the National Guard of Ukraine were deployed on duty at positions on the outskirts. Dutch PM Mark Rutte has visited the war-torn town of Irpin outside Kyiv on Monday, saying he wants to see for himself the impact of the Russian invasion. He said he hoped to use his visit to explain to the Dutch why it was important to support the people of Ukraine. A major gas pipeline from Russia to Germany has shut down for annual maintenance. According to the Nord Stream 1 pipeline operator, Germany's main source of Russian gas is scheduled to be out of action until July 21st for routine work. Manchester United officially confirmed France midfielder Paul Pogba's return to Juventus from the club. The France midfielder's contract at Old Trafford has expired this month and he is set to rejoin the club, with which he won the title twice in his first spell. Wayne Rooney arrived in Dallas International Airport in the DC area as rumors of him becoming DC United's new head coach intensified. According to reports, Rooney and the DC have agreed on terms for a new deal. Bhagwani Devi of India created history at the World Masters Athletics Championship by winning the gold medal at 94 years of age. The Indian athlete won the gold in the 100-meter sprint event, at which she ran in 24.74 seconds in Finland. England are preparing for the second group match of Euro 2022 against Norway at the Farmer Stadium in Brighton on Monday. The both squads won their opening matches, although Norway sits on the top of Group A after their 4-1 victory over Northern Ireland. And Romeo Beckham scored his first goal of the season in Inter Miami's 3-1 win over Orlando City B. The 19-year-old son of David Beckham showed signs of his famous dad when he curled in a beautiful free kick in the 84th minute to give the visitors a lead.